Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video I will be replacing my seized tie rod ends with some nice new ones so I can finally get my wheels aligned. So basically the story is that I went to go get my wheels aligned because my steering wheel was on a wonk. I shall pop a picture up so you can see what it looks like. But when they tried, they said that they couldn't do it because my tie rod ends were seized. We have had that done before on another car, so I know there's not a great deal of work involved, but it depends on whether or not I'm strong enough. So essentially the first thing to do, obviously jack up the car and take off the wheel. So what you will need a jack to jack the car up, a ratchet spanner to take off the wheels, the screwdriver here for undoing the Jubilee clips on the existing tie rods. The spanners are to undo the bolts on the end. Wow, this is really difficult to point up in the air. The torque wrench, obviously for torquing once it's all back on the car. The massive spanner undoes the massive, I'm not sure what you'd call that, probably a bolt, but whatever it is on the end of that tie rod, that's what that is used for. The Allen key goes into the top of that bolt to make sure it doesn't spin at the same time. The long-nose pliers are then used to pull the new cable ties that you put on to the bellows once they've been fitted to make sure that they don't come off. And obviously, what was the main thing? Oh, this one here, the adjustable spanner. That is the adjustable spanner to tighten up the tie rod to the right length that you need it. Okay, so this is obviously what we are replacing. The first job will be to remove the bolt that is here, and then there will be a clip at the end of that bellow. So you'll undo the clip, pull the bellow forwards, and then there will be the equivalent of what is on my new one, which looks like this. And then we get to use the absolutely enormous spanner to undo that off, and then we can pop the new one on. So on closer inspection, this Allen key bolt socket thing, it has almost rounded. I do not like the chances of us being able to do this properly, so I'm going to spray WD-40 on it just in case anyway, and see how we get on.
Two hours later.
So you can obviously see where we will be taking off the clip here. In the same fashion, it's to put the screwdriver in, stretch out the metal and twist it as it comes, and it should pop off this end here, freeing the bellow. Okay, so that clip is now also off at the back in the same way, just twisting it until the metal stretches up and over the clip. What you will now be doing is reaching back where that clip was and pulling it forwards, but being really careful, because if they are old especially, they will be inclined to perish, and to replace them is basically the same cost as your new tie rod. So be really careful, bring it forwards, and then we'll be using the massive spanner to undo the bolt end of the old original tie rods. So this is not the easiest task, admittedly, to record. However, you pop the end of the metal, and then it will concertina forwards. What you can just about see here is what you will be attaching your spanner to and then twisting. There is a hole, a gap, that comes from underneath the wishbone through here, and that's where you would pop your spanner. You will then just crack it. They're not actually massively tight, to be fair. I managed to do this on my first go. So you twist that, that will then come off, and then you can continue to twist it on the other end to get it off. It's just to get that bit started, but obviously still be really, really careful with this, and it is lovely and greasy, so just make sure you are prepared for a nice little puddle just in case. So with the back end loose with the bellows, you will then just need to knock this end out. This doesn't actually matter if you whack that with a hammer and damage it, because that is on the new one. So you'll just be hammering it out. Once it's then loose, you can then just twist the arm to undo it once that top bit's loose. Hopefully that all roughly makes sense. Not expecting that. Ta-da! So we are actually going to be keeping and reusing these bellows. I've checked, they're not split in any way, they're actually in really quite good condition still, so we need to take them off. However, the problem is on these tie rods, this is seized, so to take off the bellows without cutting them, we are going to be using a mixture of heat, brute force, wishful thinking, and goodness knows what else to get that off, so that we can get the bellows off as well. So with all major decisions that require a lot of thinking, we have given it 17 seconds and decided that we're just going to spray this with WD-40 and attack that with brute force. Worst case, we'll just have to grind it off. But for now, we're just going to see if anger can just do the trick. So, we have given up. We tried for a grand total of about 2 minutes and decided that we just don't have time, it's going to get dark. So we're going to just grind it off. This is the first time I've ever used this machine, and truthfully I just don't want to do this. But Jonathan said it will be good for the channel. So
women and power tools.
I literally hate it. I feel sick at the thought of going to just get myself burnt by all the sparks, but whatever. Okay, let's just get it done with. You need to stop recording now.
Okay.
My hair is up, my goggles are on. I don't like it.
Go. This will be fun, just watching her turn it on. I feel like we're going to lose a finger in a second. Keep going. Good. No, just keep going. You're pretty much through. You've got like a millimetre to go.
I have not, I can see, I'm not even halfway.
The problem is you keep coming off it. Well, you'd be done now if you just left it on.
I hate it. It's even worse. Second to this, stupid button.
Because you're taking ages. Leave it in there. Way!
Well, that was evil, and I don't ever want to use that machine ever again, ever.
Thank goodness there's not another one, Stevie, on side here.
Okay, well it's off. It's actually quite a smooth cut. If anyone wants any grinding work done, know what to call. Someone experienced and... Ow! so hot.
Melty, melty.
What's the plan? Because it's too hot to touch.
Look at this. Bit of skills going on there. She did it herself.
6 months working on cars, and I figured out you just whack things really hard, it comes off.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, so to prepare the new tie rods, obviously you've got to put the bellow on. So you just have to undo it until it all comes apart and then thread it over the top. Basically the reverse of what I've just done.
You've grinded it.
Yeah, don't grind it. Okay, just to confirm, it's got to sit between these grooves here, and hopefully sliding it on is quite easy. One more?
Yeah, it's got to sit on those lines.
Like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so these are the replacements for the clips that you took off earlier on. Just a normal cable tie, but obviously you must make sure that you've pulled it incredibly tight. So once you've tightened it as much as you can by hand, then grab some pliers and make sure that it is absolutely as tight as possible so it will not move. So this tie rod was from the track car that's currently off the road. However, the tracking was done not too long ago, so I know for a fact that this is pretty accurate. So I'm just going to make sure that the 2 bolts at the top and then the 2 really big ones at the bottom are roughly in line. So when I put it on the car, I know it's roughly give or take, and then the garage can finish doing the job for me once it's all done and dusted. Obviously, just to adjust, you just spin them until they are the right length. So our new tie rod is ready to go in. We will be winding the end of it from where it came out in that hole there. So we'll be winding it by hand as tight as I can get it, and then I will be using the spanner to finish it off. Then it will come round to the front here and you'll go through this hole and bolt on. Obviously what I'll also need to do is put another cable tie. When it goes on the back, you have to actually push this round over the edge, but from memory that was not the easiest job to do, so hopefully this time it will go nice and smoothly. So after tightening that with the 34mm spanner and my foot, it is now in place. So I will be popping the other cable tie around the top, at the top half, and then feeding it through, popping it back on, and then this side will be actually done, and we may still be able to go in and have cake before it's dark. So it's really insanely difficult to get this recorded whilst wrestling with this bellow. So for purposes of showing you, the end of the bellow, which you can just about see now, needs to go over the top of that golden ring over there. That will go over the top, and then I will be putting the cable tie round it to hold it in place over that lip. This is seemingly a really difficult task, even though in theory it's very easy. So yeah, hopefully that won't take too long to do. So my bellow is now over that lip, and I've popped a loose cable tie just at the end here where I can reach it nice and easily. And then I'm just going to thread it all the way back slowly, and then once it's in place, then tighten it up. That is so far proving to be the easiest way of doing it. So, cable tied up at the top, all we have to do now is to pop this back through the... Oh, this is actually quite difficult to do one-handed with the torch anyway, but... And once that bolt is done up, you then just need to torque it to 52 Newton meters, and then pick up all your tools and go around the other side, because this side will be done.
Just gonna sit here and watch this time. I want to see how well you get on. Me not telling you, because this is just gonna be fast forwarded. Body.
And that is tie rod ends done. Tie rods. Tie rod ends. Is that the battery dead?
You got 30 seconds. It's still recording.
So, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and found it remotely informative. Hopefully, obviously next time, you'll be a lot quicker than me, because I know that you'll all be a lot stronger. But yeah, hope to see you in the next video.